Greetings, denizens of the tri-state area. Jacob Weil here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And Dragon, I know what we're going to do today. We're going to activate the Recap-inator and discuss my favorite cartoon, Phineas and Ferb. That's right, in honor of the 15th anniversary and in preparation for the upcoming revival, I'm guiding Blue Dragon 5 here through the series, experiencing his reactions, watching it for the first time, and reliving my summer memories throughout the years. Today's episode is Rollercoaster the Musical. Which happens to be the finale of season 2. And right, folks, starting next week, we'll be already in the 3rd season. So, what do you make of that particular aspect, Dragon? In fact, they're already in the 3rd one. It's going to be in the 3rd one soon.
Oh, man, we're making a dent. We're putting a dent in it.
Yep, that means we're pretty much halfway through now.
Halfway there.
Halfway there. I'd say we're almost halfway there.
Halfway there.
Halfway there. Yep. So yeah, it's been quite a ride going through these first 2 seasons. So yeah, so Dragon. What are your thoughts on the musical?
Look, it's a fine episode. Really, it's just that until the end, it's not much of an epilogue as far as a season ender goes. Because it feels like we had our big event ending last week. We had our big ending. So, okay, that's a way to end the season pretty well. And then we're doing kind of this thing that feels like, until the very end, which is, very much, okay, we're going to do kind of a meta thing where everyone's on the screen until we basically have kind of our musical endgame moment.
Oh.
It's it's the little part of the course just feels kind of like a weak sauce ending, or even as far as epilogue goes, it feels like, and we're gonna go back to the first episode, which just, I think it's really hurt by the fact that we've already time traveled to the pilot, and we basically did that episode over again, and rather well. And it just feels like, now we're just going to do it all over again.
Well,
only now that they're singing.
Well, the funny thing is, if you notice, you actually saw the future Candaces in this episode.
Yeah.
So technically they time traveled to this episode.
I don't think that. Well, actually, yeah. I don't. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, we'll say if they. Wait, are you sure we saw them in this?
Yeah, I mean, yep.
I don't mean like the ending. I mean, were they actually in the episode?
They were in the episode when you see Linda and Candace walking and discussing what happened. You see them hiding behind the cars like they did in the episode.
Oh, you're right.
Want me to show you?
Sure.
I'll try and find the image of it if it's available, but it's not. I don't know where it would be on the wiki.
So I guess technically they traveled forward in time.
the Candaces still traveled backwards in time, just not to this. I mean,
well, future Candace traveled back, but I mean, like, present day Candace, she traveled forward.
Kind of, I guess, yeah.
I know it's not really how it works. I'm just saying it's kind of funny that we kind of went to a future episode in a past episode. It's just kind of funny.
Yep. I mean, honestly, I don't really think it was intentional. I think it might.
No, of course it wasn't intentional, Jake. It's not a million years ago. And we're gonna do a musical episode of the pilot.
Yeah, I don't.
And we're gonna plan it while we're actually going back to the pilot right now. We're gonna plan seasons ahead.
Yeah, he said, for all I know, that was just something that they simply decided to do.
All right.
Okay, where I just had it. Where it's not allowing. It's not letting me upload, so I'll just do a brief screen share of it.
All right.
See?
Oh, now you're right. There they are. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
There they were. Oh, yeah. So I said, for all I know, it's just a simple visual gag. They're implying that they did travel back to this episode.
All right.
We have comments from Code Geass. He really liked Isabella's song. are my favorite. His and the one from last week are his favorites. This episode could be certain excuse for nostalgia, but at least the songs add something new.
Does it feel like maybe there was one too many songs, Jacob?
I mean, maybe, but it is a musical.
I know, that's the thing, though. It just feels like we just want to go back to it, but we're going to add, like, what was the one thing we didn't have in the pilot yet? Well, we didn't have the usual musical numbers, so let's just double down on that, just to give us a reason to even do it.
Well, remember they also like updated like the character dynamics and interactions, things like that.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So that's the sell of the episode. We're able to do things that we, it's like knowing what we know now, going back to them.
Plus, it's one of the rare shows that actually remake one of their own episodes.
Yeah.
So I think it has kind of an added appeal in that as well. Well, that's just me anyway. I mean, personally, I don't mind it. I mean, you can tell like where they reuse. You can obviously tell where they reuse some of the animation from the episode because the styles are different.
Oh yeah.
And where some of the lip sync obviously doesn't match.
Yep.
So yeah. Obviously, it's not gonna reach the heights of Summer Belongs to You. But I still think it's a fun way to end the season, personally. All right, so let's get into it then.
Yep.
So the boys, as usual, are sitting in front of their tree, and they're like, Vinny's like, that roller coaster was awesome. We should do it again, but as a musical.
Just so unsubtly, just says, "Here's the episode."
Yep.
Let's do it again, but as a musical.
Yep. That's essentially it.
And was randomly break into the choreographed musical numbers without any discernible source of the music.
It's like, yep. First, like, what are the odds that everyone else will do the same thing? Yeah, I think they will. Fair enough.
All right.
So the first song, obviously, "Hey Ferb."
Yeah, so this is kind of cute. You see, like them, like kind of like referencing some of the classic musicals, like for example, "Singing in the Rain." One of my favorite little reference they had there.
Yep.
They made Ferb the cop.
Yep. Specifically, all the ones that I noticed were Cats, Phantom of the Opera, Oklahoma, Singing in the Rain, Fiddler on the Roof,
Mm-hmm.
West Side Story.
Oh yeah.
Music Man.
Yeah.
Les Miserables, The King and I, Chicago, and Cabaret.
Okay, so we mentioned Chicago, but it's kind of might be. It could be a deeper cut. It could be All That Jazz, like the about the guy who did All That Jazz. The Roy Scheider played him. I was blanking on the name, but the choreographer. God, it's gonna drive me nuts. Not Buzzley Berkeley, but it was God. Oh, Bob Fosse. That's it, Bob Fosse. So it's like when Roy Scheider played, but there might be a reference to. It could be Chicago, but it could also be All That Jazz.
I have no idea. It just seemed more like Chicago to me.
I mean, did you actually recognize it, or did you recognize all these musicals, or did you just like look up a list of all these musicals?
Well, I actually recognized a lot of them. I haven't actually seen them, but I've seen like the things that they're referencing.
All right, good, okay.
Admittedly, I did look up a list of them, but I did actually recognize.
Admittedly,
some of them are obvious. Obviously, Cats, Phantom of the Opera, that kind of thing.
Admittedly, in the Chicago / All That Jazz section, Ferb was happy in that scene.
Yeah, you could see him smiling.
Yeah, man. How could he not? Of course, he's just thinking, if only one of these ladies could be Vanessa.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to dance with that Vanessa.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets his wish.
Oh, yeah. That he does.
Yeah.
You could tell Ferb was a happy man.
Yep. That's one happy man.
Oh, yeah.
Just, I was referencing Freakazoid with that, Jacob. Get your mind out of the gutter.
I know.
Okay.
It's a more subtle Freakazoid reference than I'm used to.
There you go.
It's like, I mean, he's a happy man is just a regular standard phrase. I didn't necessarily notice it was from Freakazoid.
You don't remember that gag, do you?
No, I don't.
It was if memory serves, it was in actually one of my childhood favorite episodes. It was the Dexter's date. Essentially, Dexter, his powers are on the fritz, and that episode culminates in the speaking of musical. So it's on brand, it's on point. We're not just making random Freakazoid references. We're making vaguely random Freakazoid references. That episode famously has the Bonjour Lobby musical number in it.
Bonjour, Lobby.
Bonjour, Lobby, c'est bonjour, Lobby.
Unfortunately, I don't remember that one.
Oh yeah, it's great. I think it opened season 2. It was basically Dexter has a day his powers are on the fritz because something the Loeb did to him, and he's just trying to go on the day as Dexter Douglas, but he keeps he keeps zapping into other pop cultural references. Like he's
it's like a Hello Dolly thing.
Yeah, essentially, precisely. But it's he transforms into like the skipper from Gilligan. He transforms into basically a parody of Barney. He transforms.
Oh God.
I believe. God, I'm trying to. He transforms into a judge. I don't think it was Judge Mathis. I think it was Judge somebody. But it was anyway. All sorts of personalities like that. It's rather fun. Anyway, so the solution is, the Loeb is going for a night on the town. And his henchmen, he's all dressed up and everything. That leads to the musical number. And when he's getting into, he basically, Freakazoid, because he's running late for his date, he tied up the Loeb. He said, "Look, Loeb, I'd love to chase you around and everything, but I got a date. I gotta go." And David Warner is the Loeb. He's not happy. He's like, "But the Freakazoid, you can't just leave me like that. We need to have the chase." Anyway, so the point being, he's upset all this, and that's why he goes out for a night on the town, which basically leads him to the same restaurant that the Freakazoid's at. But leading up to that, when he finally gets his way, and Freakazoid, okay, look, a little chase, and then you'll fix me, and then I'll take you to jail. Like, okay. And when they're finally doing the chase, the Loeb's henchmen, they kept cutting to this gag where we just have the henchmen going like, "That is one happy man."
Unfortunately, it's not easy to watch Freakazoid these days.
It's an unjust crime, but I blame Zaslav.
It needs to be put on Max. That way we can easily watch it. Or Hulu.
Yes.
Whatever service is willing to stream it.
If you're gonna brandish the Warner Brothers water tower, you better have the Warner Brothers stuff on one of these services.
Freakazoid and Friends.
Yeah.
You have the Friends. Where's the Freakazoid?
Yep.
It's
literally everyone but Freakazoid is streaming somewhere, and that's ridiculous to me.
He's like, can you imagine Freakazoid and Injustice?
Do you mean the game?
Yes.
Huh. Can you imagine Freakazoid Mortal Kombat?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, they added Peacemaker to it recently. It's possible.
Well, Peacemaker's more violent than Freakazoid.
No, you're right about that. Well, let's use Relaxovision. So we had to cut away from that. God knows what happened.
Oh, God.
Exactly. All right.
Back to the episode at hand.
Yeah. Well, we already talked about this one. It's just there's musical numbers. Let's just talk more about Freakazoid, okay? Just forget the rest of the episode. All right, so the next scene.
Trust me, Dragon, if we could do like an episode by episode retrospective or recap of Freakazoid, I'd be down for that.
Yep. Okay. Anyway, so Candace is in charge conditionally, which leads to this great gag. There's a new condition.
It's like a herd of a moose, a whole herd of them stampede and hurt someone. If that happens, you're in charge.
So this gag of like she's like, "Hey, I'm in charge conditionally." Did one of those conditions involve a stampede involve a moose? Oh, actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I love that she's charmed by. Oh my God, you absolutely got it.
It's like Like, it just wouldn't have anything to do with a moose, would it? What do you should mention that?
I love that. I just love that. That's my favorite Candace gag in this whole episode. I love that.
There's not a lot of them in this episode.
Yeah.
Except later when she yells at cheese.
Yeah, that's really funny too.
Like, would you like that, Candace? Would you like to yell at some cheese?
Yes.
A little.
Now you know that's that feels like that's a direct Family Guy pull for Pop Market. I'm pretty sure it was in one of the episodes he directed where you had it was in the Road to Europe episode.
Did he direct that one?
Well, I thought didn't he direct all the original 3 Road episodes?
Yes, was that one of the original 3?
Yeah, that was one of the original 3, yeah.
Huh, all right, then I guess he did do that one.
As I'm saying, it was the second one of the 3, and in that episode, there's this guy where basically Stewie gets his heart broken, where he learns, I think it's like Jolly Farms. It was basically a sham. It was like a kids TV show where basically Mother Maggie was horrible to kids and everything. And this thing where like Brian's trying to cheer up a very sad Stewie. He's like, "You want some McDonald's?" He's like, "No." It's just, you want to take a dump in Mother Maggie's shoes? He says, "Yep, okay, let's go take a dump in Mother Maggie's shoes." So it's like basically like that. Literally, he leads her off just like how Linda leads Candace off. So that has to be a direct Family Guy pull.
That wouldn't surprise me.
If you held those scenes up side to side, you'd see exactly what I'm talking about.
And Dad did direct this episode, so that wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
There you go. Anyway, so we have the recycled plot here.
Yep.
Which again, I get it. I get the try to jazz it up with the songs and do basically, but again, it just feels like we're taking what we've learned now and we're kind of infusing it in there, but it does feel like we overcompensated with the songs just to really differentiate the other time we went back to the pilot.
I mean, I see where you're coming from on that. And to be fair, the Quantum Boogaloo didn't really focus too much on the pilot. That was just like a small part of it.
Well, which is fine. I'm just saying though, again, the pilot of Phineas and Ferb, there's not a lot going on there. It's basically side, and plus we even showed like all the big payoffs of that episode, so we essentially got the gist of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what I'm saying. Like when we have like Candace and her friends, like doing like doing the musical number. As much as I love seeing all of Candace's costume changes, I am puzzled by why the '60s garb with her and her backup singer friends. Like that's weird to me. Like that was like an odd choice. They're going for an old timey thing, but like of all the looks for, like we're just going random. Like the old like '60s house coat look.
I mean, I don't know. I think they pulled it off.
That's okay, but I don't know. It's just the fact that like that's the choppiness of the song for me. It's like, okay, randomly friends show up in the '60s outfits, and then they break in the song, and this song was one of the unnecessary songs to me. It kind of felt like we got to give Candace a song, but really this is the song we're going to give her.
Well, I think they just wanted to do something, at least have a song about her trying to bust them.
Yeah.
In this episode. And of course it has to be "You're Going Down."
Yeah, but they didn't. That's what I'm saying. Plus, I remember very fondly the whole "You're going down, 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 down,
down,"
and we didn't really work that into the song.
Yeah. The only thing they forgot to reference is like, we're gonna need a blowtorch and some more peanut butter. Well, you don't remember that line?
No, I remember that line.
I always wonder what they want to do with peanut butter in this show.
It's a good question.
Because I remember a couple episodes, you're like, grab your peanut butter in your swimsuit and meet me at the flagpole.
Oh, God. Then we have the whole, like, you got your chocolate, my peanut butter. I can't have two things.
Yeah, that was the same episode.
Well, did I not say it was not the same episode?
I know, but I'm just saying.
Well, you're right, though. I was saying there's a theme of peanut butter in that episode.
Yep, there is. So it's like, the odd things that this show does with peanut butter.
Yep. Which again takes me back to Golden Age Family Guy. You got peanut butter in my chocolate in my peanut butter. Officer Reese's, is there a problem? Nope. Bam, bam.
Oh, God.
The original gritty reboot.
Yep. How Reese's really started.
They're kind of doing that now with the Pop-Tart.
Wait, what do you mean?
I don't know how dark it's going to be, but there are deaths. There is mayhem. So I mean, it's kind of like gritty. But Jerry Seinfeld is doing his Netflix movie called Unfrosted. You see the trailer for it?
Oh no, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's amazing. It looks great.
Huh. I'll have to check it out.
Basically, Jerry Seinfeld doing kind of a Weird Al inspired, not full on Weird Al, but let's just say in the vein of what the Al Yankovic story was.
Basically,
For
basically a parody, semi-autobiography.
yeah, it's kind of a parody biopic. It's more like what Jerry Seinfeld thinks happened with the creation of the Pop Tart. I guess that's the best way of putting it. Like a farcical take on like what was going. Basically, imagine Jerry Seinfeld's observational humor applied to a biopic of like what. Almost imagine if he like in the script writing process, like he's like a whole bit on the probable weird stuff that went into the creation of the Pop Tart, and that turned into a movie. Looks good. The trailer looks good.
I'll have to give that a look then.
Also got a whole cosmos full of stars, my friend. A lot of big names in this thing.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
I used to eat Pop-Tarts all the time too.
I never had the patience to toast them.
I never actually toasted mine either.
That's the thing. I mean, I kind of. The problem is this. Okay. The Pop-Tart. I have a feeling I would like it toasted, but the thing is, untoasted, I was always getting to the center of the Pop-Tart because I like the crust or the crummy kind of like like the thing that's on the outside of like the frosting and the stuff that's on the inside of the Pop-Tart.
I always just ate mine straight out of the wrappers.
Well, no, I'm saying still, even if you like you unpeel the wrapper, I'm saying to get to it, you have to eat like the outer rim unless you break it off. That's what I'm saying. Like in hindsight, I wish I would have saved myself the trouble and like broke off like the like the surrounding section of the Pop-Tarts, got into the good stuff that's in the middle.
I always just broke my Pop-Tarts in half.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think I was ambitious enough. I was thinking, well, I'm supposed to eat it this way.
Or when it comes to the chocolate ones, I froze them. And then did that.
Yeah.
Yep, I have some have that.
Last time I had a Pop-Tart was during a blackout, and it was an Oreo Pop-Tart.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, here's the thing. Again, wish I had the foresight to just break it in half, but
like just take the individual Pop-Tart and just break it in two. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, again, I just wasn't ambitious enough.
I don't. If you count that as ambitious, then sure.
Could you smart enough? Maybe I wasn't smart enough just to break the thing in two. Could be that too.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, speaking of which, we do use toast and butter as a metaphor in Candace's song.
Yep.
And that's just for yes, that transition was very forced.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna deny it.
Yeah.
But we need to get back on topic.
Okay. Are you sure you just don't want? We could just talk about breakfast for the whole rest of this. You want to do that?
I don't want another repeat of Quantum Mania.
Okay.
So we spent like 30 minutes talking about ice cream.
Apologies for anyone watching who's now very hungry.
Yeah, we talk about food a lot on this. We really love food animation on this.
We do.
As you can imagine, I wasn't there for this, but you can probably imagine that they talked a lot about Ratatouille.
Yeah. Again, we did a whole 20 minutes on donuts.
For where was that?
Again, that was the Richard Simmons thing.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
Anyway.
Yep.
Well, it felt like 20 minutes. Anyway, so
then Isabella's song.
I had a weird observation, but I'm sure we brought this up before, but I want to ask you this. Isn't it weird that with all the head shapes in this show, Isabel looks like a smile?
Yeah, I mean, it's just more of a semicircle.
It's a smile, though. It's like a cartoony smile. It's a semicircle.
Yep. I mean, usually smiles are represented by semicircles, so in a way...
She's a smile with hair.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, yes, Isabel, she has her song. Still a man, a few words, I see. I had a couple lines. Oh, someone's chatty.
Yeah, earlier he had 2 lines.
Chatty.
Yep. So yeah, even acknowledging that Ferb is speaking slightly more. And of course, we then learn what Doofenshmirtz is up to.
Yeah, so this is brilliant. This is the idea that he contemplates writing the rest of the Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated
Jingle.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I love that he was so close. Like we were actually close to getting like a full song for the jingle, which was a really good idea.
It's like I should really write the rest of that someday.
Jacob, do they ever do it?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, throw up the banner.
I'm already on it. Hold on.
It's now a man. Dan Swampy. Boys, are you kidding me right now? Really?
Oh god.
You propose an idea this good? And Bubkiss, you never wrote the full song? You have a whole musical episode about an episode you already did? And you didn't write the full song?
Yep, they didn't.
Oh my god! Dan! For pity's sake, man! When you do the revival, you too, Swampy. Don't look at him, look at me. When you do the revival, please, oh, please, do the rest of the song. You can't just give me a nugget of, okay, he was getting other lyrics. There might be a full song of the Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated jingle.
He wants the jingle.
Yes! Jingle those keys, boys. All right.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, don't try to take that away. So yeah, and speaking of people who don't get songs, Monogram keeps getting interrupted too.
That is really funny.
He's like, "Oh, sorry, I thought you were done, sir. Can you continue?" Don't bother. The moment's gone.
And you know what Monogram's thinking.
What does he think?
Dang it, Carl!
Dang it, Carl!
Turn the lights off on his big moment, Jacob. His big moment. He's been waiting for so long. He's waiting for a musical episode for 2 seasons now. He finally has an opportunity to sing, and Carl dashes his dreams. And you know what? Monogram's had it. Monogram's kicking Carl to the curb and twisting his foot on the ashes.
He had a good run.
No, he didn't. That's why he got fired, Jacob.
Fair enough.
So, Monogram needs a Carl that's going to respect his artistic integrity in the musical arts. Who, pray tell, would be a supportive Carl who will not preempt him with darkness?
Let's see. For all I think, I probably think Carl would give him the time of day for that.
You might want to be a little bit more specific on that one, Jacob. Carl. They're all named Carl.
I thought I said Weezer, but never mind. Weezer.
No, you just said Carl. That's why I was like, what?
Okay, Carl Weezer then.
We know Carl Weezer loves to sing.
Yeah. Well, everyone in that show can sing except Sheen.
True. Yeah, you're right about that. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember the lyrics, like the in quotes, the lyrics to that to the spy song.
It's like, give me the ring first off. Give us all the ring, essentially, and then the next one was like, yes, we all can sing except Sheen. He's like, hey, I can sing.
Yeah, they had like that line, like "When we're spies," just something like that.
I think that's a different episode.
No, it is it is a different episode. I'm saying that's the episode I'm trying to think of the lyrics for, though.
We're spies, I call guys.
Yeah, it was like something like that. Yeah.
Wasn't that Operation Rescue Jet Fusion?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's the one.
I just wondered if that was like actually the name of the episode where we hear the spy song.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Carl did have quite a few songs, a couple of songs in that. Like it's like Now that I think about it, I remember it correctly.
Oh god, yeah, a lot. And of course, nani nani nani.
Like spoon, 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 moon, moon, moon. Oh God.
Hey Jay, why don't you give voice to this one using your Carl voice
What do you? Which one?
in the comments?
It's a different Carl.
Oh right. Well, I mean, what about Carl Weezer though?
Okay, I'll do it as Carl Weezer. Sir, can I sing a song?
Sings for people that have good voices.
Don't I have a good voice?
I would rather listen to nails on a chalkboard.
Carl Weezer. I'm Carl.
Anyway,
Yes.
okay, so Carl
Okay.
that would not.
I thought I clicked on the card. Sorry about
Well,
that.
anyway, so the Carl who would not respect, Monogram and would absolutely shut the lights out on him. Carl the Minion.
Carl Minion would do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Now what about Carlos?
Maybe. Maybe. Carl Fowley for sure, yeah.
I still haven't seen It's Told by Ginger yet.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, I think it's better than Real Monsters.
I haven't even seen that either.
Real Monsters, it's all aesthetic. There's not really any substance there, but it's...
I know it's still classic Chupo, but
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. But let me put it this way: when I'm buying my Nick merchandise, it's like I would like more of the obscure stuff than I would like Real Monsters.
I mean, even then, people consider All Real Monsters to be pretty obscure with the Nickelodeon.
Well, no, they are, but it's I don't know. It's always like I don't want to look at like Kronk, on the
Fair enough.
stuff. I don't want to see like this weird, like naked hairy monstrosity on my Nick apparel. The only weird naked monstrosity I want on my Nick apparel would be the Flesh from Action League Now.
Okay.
You remember Action League Now, don't you?
I've never watched Kablam.
Oh right, you poor. Yes, that's right.
I know it. I think it's on Paramount Plus now, so
It is.
I could watch it.
Kablam and the spinoff for Action League Now. So if you just want just the Action League Now segments, that's all there for you too.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
Another thing to add to my watch list.
Yep, which you'll never get to.
I'm working through it, Dragon.
Sure.
All right.
Okay. So
after his unfinished jingle, Doofenshmirtz reveals his plan. Once again, he covered the eastern seaboard in tinfoil.
oh god.
But there is a difference this time, Dragon.
Jacob, what pray tell is the difference this time?
Well, last time he used a magnetism magnifier.
Mm-hmm.
This time, it's a magnifinator.
Now, this is really funny because if memory serves, that's a reference to the fact that they didn't have the inator yet in like that one episode, right?
Yep, they hadn't come up with the term yet.
So that's pretty good.
If I remember correctly, as I mentioned before, you can thank writer Sherm Cohen for coming up with that. Coming up with the idea to name all of his inventions innators. Now I'm sure I don't need to explain to you, Dragon, who Sherm Cohen is.
Actually, remind me, who is Sherm Cohen?
Well, he actually wrote a lot of episodes of SpongeBob.
Oh,
and he's worked in quite a few other shows actually. Like,
okay, cool.
It's like I think yeah. I mean, but SpongeBob's primarily what he's best known for.
Any notable episodes you have off the top of your head for SpongeBob, or
none off the top of my head specifically, but
okay,
but he did quite a lot even in the later seasons, I believe.
Okay.
I think he even did some work on like the new spin-off shows too. Like I think he did some stuff on Camp Coral, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
But
anyway,
he was there from very early.
So let's see. So I love that Perry the Platypus is being tortured by Doofenshmirtz's musical number.
It's like you're back in Gimmelstump.
Yep, this Perry's in agony right now.
It's like everyone watching it is in agony.
Yep, and he's doing like the kind of like a heavy metal sort of thing with like the exposed midriff in his belly.
Yep. Like, so yeah, like I said, everyone was in agony seeing that.
Yep, and then we go to more traditional Doofenshmirtz. You know, he's got like the little straw hat, little Susquehanna hat, and doing a little tap dance number.
Yep. And of course, at the end with all the background dancers, it's like, when is this over? I need to go pick up my kid from school. Just wait until it fades to black.
Okay, now you can go. Okay, I love that joke so much. I love the mundane that Doofenshmirtz always hires like the beautiful chorus girls, and this the idea that they have like lives going on. This the idea that she's got to pick up her kid from school. I love that so much. And like the Doofenshmirtz is accommodating to that, and of course, he's a father. He gets it.
Yep.
Like that. That's great.
It's like, yep. See, he's an evil guy, but he's not a bad guy.
But you know who really is a bad guy, though, or I guess the guy in loose terms. You know who's a bad semi-aquatic mammal.
What do you, Perry the Platypus?
Precisely.
And how exactly do you explain this?
Well, Jacob, I think we know what time it is.
It's
Gritty Reboot time! So we replicated the bit from the pilot. Which is honestly, if memory serves, is like the reason for the Gritty Reboot angle. Because like this bit actually was kind of like one of the things. Like, man, that's awfully kind of brutal if you look at it from a different perspective. Yet again, Perry, screw you to Dr. Doofenshmirtz, where
he launches a nail into Doofenshmirtz's foot.
Not a nail, a screw. He screws him in the end.
Okay.
No, it's like it's the ultimate screw you. He knocks the screw into his foot.
I know,
it's
but
really painful, and then he just like whacks it. I feels like they hit him with like a book or something. Oh, hit him with a wrench. Oh god, hit him with Barry the Platypus again.
Yeah.
Not even a lot of work we need on the Great River. He's like wham, whacks a sharp, essentially serrated for all we know. A sharp serrated gives him tetanus for sure.
If you notice, the actual first episode is like, when it comes to like the stuff against Doofenshmirtz, is a lot more realistically violent.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's the whole reason we have the Gritty Reboot section of the show, is the fact they went really hard in the openings there. We're just like drives the screw into his foot, and it's like, ouch, wow, and like they're really punching each other too.
Yeah. That doesn't really happen again. They honestly, it is kind of a good thing that they became more creative with their fights as it went on.
Well, sure. I mean, they're fighting with bratwurst and hot dogs.
Yep, I'm still team bratwurst, by the way.
I'm still team hot dog.
Well, there we go. Civil War.
Yeah, well, we know who won.
Bratwurst.
No.
In the episode, hot dogs won, but
exactly.
Hot dogs won, but in my heart, it's bratwurst.
You're a deluded man, Weil.
It's like, I have my preferences, Dragon.
You will bow before the supremacy of the wiener.
It's like, we have superior meats and spices, Dragon. As Doofenshmirtz said, Doofenshmirtz quality bratwurst. That's still like my favorite jingle. And I think that's my favorite jingle in the whole series.
It is really funny.
It never fails to crack me up. In the Gritty Reboot,
quality
bratwurst. In the Gritty Reboot, Carl get crushed to death by the roller coaster. I'm honestly surprised, considering in the actual show, it does get lifted, so somebody could have theoretically gotten crushed by it.
Well, Jacob, for the revival, you know what they're going to do with Carl, don't you?
What are they going to do with Carl?
Well, actually, scratch that. They could do this in the revival, but again, would also be good for the reboot. Carl learns
that he's already been killed numerous times.
that he's been killed 39 times.
and it's a
He's been
robot.
rebuilt. He's actually a robot. Like he's been obsessed with the. That's why he's always been obsessed with making the Flynn Fletcher family into robots, because he indeed is one. Maybe piloted for all we know. Maybe piloted by an Alka agent. We don't know. But he's.
Are you telling me that Carl is a robot?
Jacob, that is exactly what I'm saying.
Could he possibly be a
robot? So that's the thing. So Carl's had trauma. He keeps mind wiping himself, and that's what he's doing.
So Dragon, you know what we have to do if we find out it's true, right?
What?
We have to call the Navy.
Not the
Navy. Yeah, now that's only if we find out that it's true,
though. Okay, so again, regardless, is the other legit thing that we're going to move on again. Is just the fact that imagine this, just going back to it for a second time, and just like, I'm at my foot. It's taken 2 seasons to heal. My foot's actually doing pretty good right now. You know, he said I was pretty lucky the first time that the platypus. He just drove that in there. I'm gonna like permanent browse is going on there. Like, what if they got club foot? No one's a club foot.
And then you have to just go do it again.
Yep, and then against Perry Plum. It's like, oh no! Why? I was just out of rehab. You sent me a guanaguesa. Oh God! Oh! Oh! I'm gonna do? I'm gonna adopt a family of platypi. You know what I mean? Adopt a family of them and make them for Thanksgiving. Gonna have my daughter eat it. Gonna have my ex-wife eat it. I'm just gonna give it out to the neighbor kids, just saying it's free turkey. No one's gonna know.
Oh, that's gross.
Because of the pain you caused me, Bernard Platypus. But yeah, I will get on that right now. I'm just gonna hobble there, because I won't be jumping. I'll be dancing on your grave. I won't be jumping.
Oh God!
Hey, look at this now. I have a limp, Bernard Platypus. I have a limp.
Oh boy, that would be gruesome.
Or oh God, even greater reboot. Okay, Doofenshmirtz. He after this happens, Perry thinks, okay, job done. Wipes his hands clean, turns around, and Doofenshmirtz, he pulls the screw from the foot, takes the wrench, and like bam, nails the tail to the floor.
That's a nail there. Tail to the floor.
Well, sorry, a screw. Basically, uses the screw as a nail, and just like bam, right to the floor. And he's like, "How do you like it?" And they pass out from the blood loss.
All right. One of these days, we're gonna have like the biggest gritty reboot of all time.
Yep. Just give me an episode. It's gonna be all gritty reboot.
Well, I mean, who knows?
Or across the grittyverse.
Yep. I mean, think about it though. Think about it though. When we do eventually come to Night of the Living Pharmacist, that could almost be all gritty reboot.
There you go.
I mean, you're familiar with that one, so you'll be able to already plan something there for that one.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So what's this episode about again?
Rollercoaster the musical.
Right. No, I'm kidding.
I know.
Okay, so we do all that. Oh, here's a great payoff. Here's something again, knowing what we know now, going back to then.
Yeah.
During the fight, the battery cart falls out the window, and lo and behold, we have our married couple.
Yep. It's like I can't believe Governor Gales didn't even have a battery cart. What do you think? It was gonna fall out of the sky?
And lo and behold, it does. What do you think? $1 million is going to fall out of the sky? He's like, it doesn't work that way.
Well, how does it work then?
It's great. It serves her right, though.
I mean, she's not wrong, though.
We know clearly how it works, okay? She has to say it, but he actually has to be struggling with the thing in the moment. That's how it works.
Yep. Remember, you'd be surprised if I was out of the sky in Danville.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't work that way. Well, how does it work then?
Good.
Corey Burton, nailing it as always.
Love him.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, so again, other retroactive things. Buford's in the episode versus the the proto Buford.
Yeah, the extras, like you get the poster. It's like,
yep, I get the poster.
It's like, if anyone's gonna get this poster, it's me, not one of you lousy extras.
Yeah, it was just great. That's them calling out the fact that if we only we knew we had Buford and Baljeet at the time, we would have worked them in there.
Yep, and like I said, this is a way to work them in.
Yep.
The funny thing is, I actually do have a bit of a background for that one because there was actually like I believe it was this episode. There was a plan to have a song called "Where Were We," talking about where they were when this episode was being done. I can't really find anything out on it though besides that because I can't find anything, unfortunately. But there was so unfortunately I don't have any details on that. But there actually was a song referencing that, but it got cut for time. Which Candace does try to show Linda what happens. She gets her own song, which then transitions into another song, which leads to the poster. Then, it's like, would you like? I'll be over here if you want to yell at some cheese. Would you like that, Candace? Would you like to yell at some cheese? A little. All right, come on then. She's actually accommodating when Candace says she wants to yell at cheese. Which is nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
It's kind of maybe it's good stress relief for Candace.
And of course, later on, it's like, just like, man, she's really mad at that cheese.
Yeah, what did that cheese ever do to you?
That line really just, the cheese gag just really reminds me of the gag from the Muppet Show. The whole, what about the dancing cheese?
If you remember, though, Dragon, technically she is lactose intolerant.
Yeah, you're right. She does have a grudge.
She's like, why do you do this to my stomach?
Yep. That was a magical moment for Jeremy and I, and you ruined it. Please, cheese.
I for one can't do without cheese.
Wait, what?
So I for one can't do without cheese.
Okay, can't do without cheese. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a day goes by where I don't eat something cheese related.
I can't do without grated cheese.
Grated cheese?
Yes, grated cheese.
Fair enough. Well, my tacos, my burgers. Funnily enough, I don't eat cheese-filled bratwurst.
That's the thing. Like, I honestly, all you need is Parmesan cheese, and I'll be okay.
Like with pasta and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's just really it's all I really need.
And of course,
cheese-wise.
And of course, pizza.
Well, I forget. I think technically it's Parmesan cheese anyway. It's on the pizza.
I mean, like different kind. It depends on the pizza, but
I'm just saying, like the traditional pizza. I mean, it's like the white sprinkled cheese, which I'm pretty sure is just like it's Parmesan, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So like that's kind of like so it's either whatever the Parmesan / it's a very cheesy conversation. Thank you.
We'll be here all night. Not really.
Be sure to tip your waitresses. Not that far.
And we won't really be here all night. We're not gonna reach the last episode's length.
Well, we're not done yet.
I know, but I don't think we're gonna go over 2 hours.
That's true. Okay, so
I know we're gonna go 2 hours in the Marvel episode.
Yep.
The heck, I can guarantee that probably the 2 hours of that podcast will just be about the absence of a certain character.
Let's be honest, Jake. It's gonna be the length of Endgame. All right, let's just not delude ourselves. That's how long that one's gonna be.
Yeah, it's like up in like 2.5 hours of that will be your talking about the lack of a certain character.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And the rest will be the episode.
I'll go by like that.
Yep.
Of course, I should be careful doing that when we talk Marvel stuff.
Yep. It's like, well, Dragon, you just killed 75% of the Marvel universe. I hope you're proud of yourself. Including Steve.
Hey! How dare you!
I didn't say which Steve. It was just a guy named Steve.
Come on, there. Oh, come. All right.
Just that guy Steve over there.
Anyway.
Remember, this show did have a Steve convention.
It did. It did.
So I didn't say which Steve.
All right.
If I was talking about the other Steve, I would have said that Steve.
All right. So, it's coaster time.
Yeah.
Get your drinks.
So I do have the line. They actually included a line that was in the original pitch that wasn't in the actual episode. It's like, you want to tell your grandchildren about the time you rode? Like, that part was not in the original episode, but it was in the original pitch.
Oh, we should actually. I'm sorry. Before we talk about the coaster, we get to about honestly my favorite song in the whole thing.
Which one's that?
"Little Young to Build a Roller Coaster."
Oh, yep. Dance. You can tell Dan's singing that one.
Yeah, I love that. It sounds good. I just love the absurdity that we took like the one off, not one off in the grand scheme of the series, but just like the idea, like, well, aren't you a little young to to do this and do that? Just the fact that we took that and we made a big grand musical number out of it.
He's like, I must say that I'm really quite impressed. It kind of it does kind of highlight the absurdity of it. Like, well, if you have permits, I don't see why you can't. Barring the fact that he's like a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So the return of the coolest coaster ever. Would you go on this, Dragon? I don't know if I asked you this during the original episode, so I'll ask it again. Would you go on the coolest coaster ever?
Well, if it's the one from the pilot, then definitely not. It feels like we have more safety regulations on this one, but I don't think I'd take the chance.
I mean, if you notice, he still drops the safety seatbelt.
Plus, once we go through mud, it's like a whole I don't know.
If you notice, Phineas does still drop the safety seatbelt.
He does. However, you'll notice they did cut out the unlikable Phineas stuff from the pilot.
I did, yeah, I noticed. It's like saying, so who wants to go on first? And we should have charged more. And and especially and we're referencing that earlier. It's like we're doing homework. It's summer. Yeah, well, and here that was a place with the moose conversation. So yeah, they said basically highlighting these characters really changed from the beginning, and of course Phineas's voice sounds very different as well, as you noticed.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Honestly, Dragon, do you like his new voice better than what he sounded like in the original pilot?
I think so.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
I think it suits him slightly more.
It's always weird that the opening for so long, I don't know if it's still to this day, but the opening didn't they have the original Phineas voice doing the singing in the the original didn't the could have sworn in some of the openings of Phineas and Ferb they had the audio wasn't quite what it was now in Phineas.
When the opening, he's like, "Come on, Perry!" You can still hear the original Phineas.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. That part right there. Yeah,
it's like you can still hear. Yeah, they still use that and they don't never update that until they don't update that for a while.
Yeah,
I don't know why they didn't, but maybe they will for the revival. For all we know, One can only hope.
Yep.
What was that?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Thought I heard something.
Nope.
All right. So speaking of the roller coaster, would you go on this one?
Well, like I said, it's pretty. I'm not really a roller coaster guy. I don't think I would go on this.
It's like, I mean, I think I would. I mean, after the 3 mile drop, I think I'd be fine. I mean, 3 miles isn't that much, right?
Oh, it's a walk in the park.
It's only 15,000 feet.
Yeah.
It's like, so yeah, speaking of which, what about the song itself? What do you make of the song itself?
I mean, I love the boys like playing the instruments on top of the thing. That's pretty cool.
Yep. They cut out the gag.
Yeah, that was good. I like the gag. The ah.
Well, yeah, they referenced that. But the building they cut out the gag for.
Yeah.
But we go I did like that. It's a pretty interesting way to do that. Honestly, of all things, it reminds me of the Le Poisson song from Little Mermaid. You know why, right?
Why?
Well, because Howard Ashman straight up rhymed Le Poisson with laughter.
Hmm.
Le Poisson. Remember that?
Yeah.
It just reminds me of that for some reason. So speaking of things that they expanded, like they threw in the moose, they put in the moose gag after things inevitably go wrong. Like, if those crash into our house, Candace is in charge. Speaking of which, Dragon, do you know what the proper pluralization of moose is?
Is it just like moose with an S?
No, it's just moose.
Okay.
It's one moose, several moose.
Gotcha. Moose and squirrel. Gotcha.
Moose and squirrel, yeah.
Nah.
Well, the plural of squirrel is squirrels, but you get the idea.
No, I mean like Rocky and Bull, like moose
I know.
and squirrel.
I know. Moose and squirrel.
Yeah.
I know Rocky Bullwinkle. I was just saying.
All right.
I know what Rocky and Bullwinkle is, Dragon. Was capture the moose and squirrel.
Thank you, Borat.
Great success. And technically, that was Russian, not Kazakhstani.
I don't know. Sounded kind of close.
I don't know. Anyway.
All right. So also, I do love that we kind of had, Buford had that lyric. He said, "I'm glad I wore the brown pants."
Yep. And technically, you know how in this, he's like, and you know how he says, "I got the poster in the episode."
Mm-hmm.
In the album version, it's actually Baljit that says it.
Oh.
Like Baljit said it in the album version.
I gotta admit, the brown pants gig did make me think of the line from Deadpool, which really made me happy.
It's like he's smart. He brought his brown pants.
See, he had the right idea. He wore the brown pants today. You're probably wondering why the red suit. Well, that's so bad guys can't see me bleed. This guy had the right idea. He wore the brown pants. All right, fine. I only have 12 bullets, so you're going to have to share.
I can't wait for Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer for it again today. I went to a theater and it was there.
Yep.
Saw First Omen, and they put that in front of it. The Red Band trailer, too.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
All right.
It's like, plus they put Jeremy at the slushy dog vendor this time.
No slushy burger.
Yep. It's like Mr. Slushy Burger. So I remember you were talking about it like in the beginning of the episode. I was like, you mean that's not him? But see, now it is.
Yep, now it is.
Yep, there you go.
And of course, correction.
Yep. And of course, Crepe Suzette.
What do you think, Suzette? You want a crepe?
No,
no thanks.
And of course, we see Meep again.
Yep.
One voiced by of course, Lorenzo Lamas. Returning, and of course the episode ends exactly the same. They land in the tree.
Tree catches on fire.
Yep.
Not going to address that at all. Just there's a fire, and the boys are just they're causing a lot of damage they don't care about.
Yep. Collateral damage.
Yep. Especially that one kid that was the straggler to get out of the car before it exploded.
Yep. And the people who were nearly crushed by the roller coaster after it fell.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is that actually gets something funny like that actually gets referenced in Dan and Swampy's next show. Milo Murphy's Law. How exactly does it happen though? I'll leave that to your imagination. So that leads to the denouement of the show, of this episode. Carpe diem.
Yes, the denouement.
Denouement, yes. Basically, it's the show's mission statement almost. Like, seize the day.
Yeah, that's the thing. This was actually epilogue material here. This was good. However, I must admit, it does feel slightly redundant just given how we ended on a dance party with the big event, and then we kind of end on a dance party here. However, we do have it's literally everyone in the show shows up.
Yep. Like all the characters, even characters only appeared for like a second or so. You even see like the giant floating baby head.
Oh yeah, we can't get away from the giant floating. The giant floating baby head shows up everywhere.
Yep. And Kenny Ortega makes an appearance.
Now that's something.
Yep.
Or straight arm.
Yep. I mean, think about it. In real life, he actually is a choreographer.
Yep, and even in the last shot, animated Jacob made an appearance.
Yep. Yeah, he did.
Yep. That makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes, it does.
There you go. You made it into the last shot of the season.
Yep. After all that, though, everything's nice. But then...
Yeah.
Monogram.
Poor Monogram.
Like Carl's trying to convince him, like, no, I already got cut off twice. Like earlier, because he got cut off by the lights, and then he got cut off by the scene transition.
Yep.
He's like, come on, Carl, come on, sir, you're really good. Oh, okay. And then my whole world is the screen, and the television animation logo pops up.
Yep.
Like, oh, come on! Poor Monogram. He just can't catch. Because remember, a couple episodes ago, established that he really wanted to sing.
Oh yeah, I just want to sing.
I try so hard to keep you under wraps. And when he tries to let it out, it just doesn't happen. And so that's why he tries to keep it under wraps, because his singing has just been suppressed that much, despite his desires. Is that a gritty reboot material or just sad?
I think it's just sad.
Okay, I'm fair with that. I'm fair with that. All right, I think that about does it. We've covered pretty much all the songs and over all the stuff that they changed. So, closing thoughts on both this episode and this season as a whole.
Well, yeah, not much on the episode. Just we did it again with music this time, but it's like the retroactive component of the episode's rather fun.
Yep.
The season as a whole, I think we stepped things up with two in a lot of ways. Baljeet being one of the major examples.
Yeah, I remember you for the longest time you were trying to think of ways to ruin Baljeet's life.
Oh yeah, he earned it. Season 1 Baljeet earned that. He deserved it. He deserved every part of that. Sure.
Oh,
don't give me the sure. Come on.
What do you think? Like I said,
he was a nuisance.
He grew out of it, though.
He did. He grew. They grew out of him into a fine young. Well, I can't say a fine young man because he's a cartoon character and he's never going to age, unless maybe in the last episode. But yeah.
Like Code Geass even agrees with us, saying season 2 is stronger than the first season. It's good. I felt like the writing got more interesting.
Sure.
I mean, I still, obviously, season 1 still has its major highlights, like, dude, we're getting the band back together, Winter, among other things.
I really like season 1, but again, I haven't really thought about comparing, contrasting the two seasons. Really,
I know we could save more of that when we get further down this series, when we get close to its end.
Yep.
Discuss the whole journey as a whole. The time spent together with the series and all that. Dragon's hatred of Baljeet was a great recurring joke. Remember, he didn't actually hate Baljeet. He just prodded him a lot.
Yeah.
He wanted Baljeet to improve.
I did, and eventually it worked.
Yep, we got more Kelly Hu in season 2, so that's a helpful bonus.
Hey, yeah, that's right.
Yep. Unfortunately, we didn't get to use our new banner in this episode, but
no.
She did have a couple lines, but not enough to warrant a segment on it. She didn't even sing her part, I don't think. I think that's just someone else who sang her part in the episode.
Yeah, we couldn't let the other Kells sing. She's the other Kells.
Yep. Kelly.
See, who?
Yes.
Yes. See, there's the Kells, and that's Kelsey Grammer, and then we have the Kells for Kelly Who.
But come season 3, we will be having even more Kelly Who, and we also will be seeing more of Norm. We'll be definitely seeing more of Norm. He becomes more of a semi-regular character going forward.
Oh, coming, of course. It's going to be a thing where Norm walks in the episode, everyone's going to be like, Norm! It's like, oh, you guys, let me come down there.
Norm!
Norm. Norm's the norm. He's the new Norm.
The killer robot, man. But there's some new writers next season, so they brought in plenty of fresh new ideas to the series.
Yep.
So hopefully season 3 will prove to be just as interesting for you. But definitely we'll still be getting more Kelly Hu, more Carl, more background characters, getting character development, things like that. And of course, more zany inventions and Doofenshmirtz schemes.
Yep.
And would you have it any other way?
No.
They don't get any smarter. Doofenshmirtz's Bloods really don't get any smarter from here.
I have a feeling.
Yeah. And season 3 is when the movie happens, which still honestly, it's undecided if we're going to cover that fully or not. But if you want to watch our thoughts on it previously, we did previously covered it in Animation Vacation a couple years ago. So you can either watch that or if we decide to do something, look forward to that. We'll let you know. Right, Dragon?
Right.
All right, so I think that does it. Thank you, Code Geass, for joining us this evening. And see you next time for Season 3.